welcome back to the YouTube channel. As you can tell at the title, we'll be reacting to 10 unusual people you'll regret if you do not see them. I want to see them right now on this video. Do you want to see them, guys? I know definitely all you want to see it. Anyway guys, let's get to this reaction video. But before, subscribe, thumbs up the video, and please hit the notification bell, guys. When you subscribe, hit the notification bell. I keep saying subscribe, but the most important thing is to hit the notification bell when you subscribe. So please do that for me, and let's get to this reaction video.
Billion people on our planet. Quite an impressive figure. Still, with variety that wide, it's almost impossible to find two identical persons. Even twins have some subtle differences. With all that said, there are some unique people who really stand out among the rest, and today we're going to share their stories. Ready to meet them? Let's get it on! Jyoti Amji. They say that good things come in small packages. India's very own pint-sized dynamo, Jyoti Amji is proof that you can chase big dreams no matter your size. She held the record for the world's shortest living teen before taking the crown of world's shortest living and mobile woman on her 18th birthday. So just how small do you have to be anyways to obtain the moniker of world's smallest? 2 feet and 3/4 inches to be exact. Up until the age of 5, Jyoti was average height for her age. After some time, however, her parents knew something wasn't quite right. She was diagnosed with a rare form of dwarfism called achondroplasia. In layman's terms, lacking the hormones needed to grow beyond a certain height. What does a day in the life of the world's smallest woman look like exactly? Not that different from yours and mine, really. Besides the need for a stepladder and the throngs of people who crowd around for photographs every time she's in public, Jyoti has embraced her small stature and enjoys the attention from the general public. She hasn't let it hinder her dreams and aspirations of making it on the small screen either. No pun intended. You might also recognize her from her breakout role on the hit TV show American Horror Story back in 2014, where she starred as the charming Ma Petite. Sultan Kosun. At high altitudes, temperatures plummet and the oxygen concentration in the air starts to drop. It's the reason mountaineers have to wear breathing tanks when scaling the highest peaks. You gotta wonder if it's cold and hard to breathe up there for Turkish man Sultan Kosun. Back in 2009, Sultan was confirmed as being the world's tallest living man, coming in at a staggering 8 feet 1 inch in height. He's part of a very select club. One of only 10 males throughout history are confirmed to have exceeded 8 feet in height. Sultan suffers from a pituitary adenoma, a tumor in the brain that results in growth hormone being produced throughout a person's life. His biggest complaint? Finding clothes and shoes that fit. The craziest thing though? A mere 2 years later, he was measured again, gaining almost 2 inches in height. Is the sky the limit for this mountain of a man? Sridhar Chalal. There's 3 kinds of people in the world when it comes to nail care. There's your biters, your clippers, and those that just let it grow forever. Sridhar Chalal would fall into the last category of people, as he's the owner of the world's longest nails. If he looks familiar, it's because he's been on the world record tour circuit for the best part of 40 years. This man's nails, on one hand, mind you, have a combined length of 29 feet 10 inches. The weight of the nails has permanently disfigured his hand, and when outside his home, he wears a protective covering over them. He started growing his nails at 14 years old and has never looked back until recently. After years of crippling pain in his fingers, wrist, elbow, shoulder, and all the way to his neck from the extreme weight, he decided that a little trim is in order. This called for something a bit more robust than your typical manicure kit, a tool that looked more like an electric grinder used to cut steel than your run-of-the-mill nail clippers. Ever the generous man, he donated his titanic talons to be displayed in Ripley's Believe It or Not in Times Square. Adrian Lewis. This Michigan native hopes to shatter the world record for the longest tongue. All she needs is to have it measured.
Oh my God!
Hanging down her face at an unofficial but impressive 4 inches. This tongue looks like it should be used to extract a lunch of ants out of an anthill. She can lick her nose, chin, elbow, and even her eye. Whether it's some genetically inherited gift or the result of being stretched from poking out her tongue too much as a kid, your guess is as good as mine. To give you a scope of its abnormally long length, her tongue is longer than a business card. Try that home for yourself. Adrian says that she needs to dislocate and unhinge her jaw in order to present her tongue out of her mouth in all its slimy glory. Best not to try that one at home. Valdir Segado. Some of us are genetically gifted, just naturally large, strong people. Others are a little smaller, built for speed rather than power. Regardless of your body shape, an exercise regime will help you get the most out of the body you were given. But what happens when it's not enough? Enter Valdir Sagado. Haven't heard of him? Perhaps you've seen him. He hangs out on the beaches of Rio de Janeiro doing his best tanned Hulk impersonation. His biceps are a whopping 23 inches. And this massive transformation from being a skinny dog, according to his friends, to this larger-than-life frame is nothing short of astounding. In terms of raw measurements, Valdir is pretty close in size to another big man he idolizes who needs no introduction, Arnold Schwarzenegger. But how? Well, not from hours in the gym. This is no strongman, more like a show pony. Synthol oil is injected into the muscle tissue to increase its volume and size. Without going into too much detail, let's just say that use can lead to severe health problems and even death. I don't know about you, but I'll take my girly, non-threatening arms over fitness Frankensteins any day. Robert Bobrovsky. Romania isn't exactly well known for its towering skyscrapers, so you can imagine our surprise when basketball prodigy Robert Bobrovsky showed up as a blip on our radar. This 16-year-old hopes to become the tallest player ever to play in the NBA. And we think he can do it too. Standing at over 7 feet 7 inches, this teenager hasn't even stopped growing. Seeing him standing next to other players on the court, he doesn't even seem real. He looks like a grown man playing with a bunch of kindergarten kids. Take him to school, Big Rob. He comes from a basketball pedigree. His father played in the Romanian national team. He isn't just tall either. He gets top grades at school and is fluent in 4 languages: Romanian, English, Hungarian, and Italian. We see big things on the horizon for this young man, and it's not just his shadow. Henry Rodriguez. Are you a hardcore Marvel movie fan? How well do you know your supervillains? Venezuelan-born Henry Rodriguez has made it his mission to look like a real-life version of comic book villain Red Skull. With an insatiable hunger for extreme body modification, Henry initially struggled to find doctors who would agree to perform specific procedures before finally settling on a practitioner brave enough. Before his cosmetic surgeon would operate, Henry had to undergo a series of rigorous physical and psychological tests. After all, it's not every day that someone wants to emulate a comic book super. Villain. Passing with flying colors, the $30,000 series of surgeries went ahead, including tattooing his eyeballs black, implants inserted into his skull on his face, and the end of his nose removed. To complete his childhood dream, all that was left was to have his face tattooed in the signature red of his nemesis idol. Henry is a loving husband and father, and is just like everyone else. He just looks a little, different. Daddy Longneck. We all browse Instagram, right? Some people have gained some serious notoriety on the platform. No doubt you've seen David Samuelson Jr. at some point, though. Better known as Daddy Longneck. Despite being an instantly recognizable figure, not much is really known about his life and his otherworldly-looking physique. The boy's got a neck that would make a giraffe jealous. As far as doctors can tell, the young man from Flint, Michigan is perfectly healthy and has no disease or disorder of any kind. He's just really skinny. Daddy Longneck is featured in a bucket load of internet and video memes, both on his social media accounts and collaboratively with other viral stars. He appears on stage at rap concerts and seems to live life to the fullest. He even did the ultimate meme crossover with Mr. Wideneck. We're not sure who's more popular. The contest was neck and neck. Frenchie Baby. Some people seem to be blessed with gymnast-like flexibility, the ability to effortlessly drop into the splits or pop shoulders and joints in and out with ease. Kid Stroke, aka Frenchie Baby, takes inhumane flexibility to the next level. Growing up in San Francisco's Bay Area, Frenchie knew from a young age that he had some freakish talents and decided to audition as a dancer on America's Got Talent. When he finally stepped out on the stage, the audience was confronted by a green-haired, larger-than-life dancer painted from head to toe in body paint. Confused at first, the crowd screamed, gasped, and eventually cheered for Frenchie as he repeatedly dislocated his shoulders and joints in ways never seen before. The human body just isn't meant to do that. Sadly, Frenchie's parents do not support his love for expression through dance. Simon Cowell rang his mother himself, asking if she would be the 5th yes after all judges gave him a standing ovation on the show. Brian Shaw. Do you work out, or is all that activewear just for around the house? Most of us need to lift to get big, and even then, donuts get in the way. Brian Shaw, however, has been a mountain his whole life, earning him the title of world's strongest man an amazing 4 times. His most spectacular feat? Well, it's actually more like spectacular feats. In the 2016 competition, he won every single event. He also holds the world record in the Atlas Stone Lift, elevating a gigantic 555-pound boulder up from the ground to the platform.
Yes.
Life as an excessively large human is not easy. At 6 feet 8 inches and 420 pounds, the world just isn't built to accommodate such a huge frame. It's hard to fit into a car. It's hard to buy clothes that fit. Even some doorways pose the risk of a nasty bump on the head. Don't forget to duck. Everything about this man is big. Whenever he holds a cup of coffee, it looks like he's holding a teacup from a children's playset. He can't use a regular office chair as it simply will not take either his muscular, wide hips, or his substantial weight. Regular size keyboards are way out of the question. And if you manage to see footage of him trying to make his way down an airplane aisle, well, your heart just goes out to the big man. To fuel such a dense mass of muscle, you have to put together a diet to match. He consumes 12,000 calories a day. That's around 6 times the energy a regular person needs. It's for this reason it's rumored that the Sizzler buffet has gone out of business in 3 separate states. We're joking, of course, but I wouldn't like to foot his dinner bill.
Sorry about that, guys. I was just lost because I had to be watching and I couldn't watch on the screen. I had to be watching here. So, guys, this one was kind of unusual, but that one when the guy was doing his hand, and that was just it was amazing. He have a very amazing, unusual talent. But for me, I was scared out of my head, and the next guy that he inject himself to get so much muscle is out of the guys. My muscles are just so flanky. I don't need nothing else. I don't need no more muscle. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, thumbs up the video. Subscribe if you're new. See you in my next video. Peace out.